Thank you so much.
Of course.
For taking the time to talk.
Of course, man.
Yeah. So how do you feel? Do you feel different or same after the Benghazi attack? And how so?
Well, it's been almost 7 years now, a little over 6, so we're getting on to 7. So since the attack, I felt the same after. I wasn't angry or anything like we talked about here. I actually redeployed immediately thereafter. We usually get a couple months off between deployments or between what we call contracts. And so I just took an extra couple weeks off, but I ended up redeploying. It was after I was home. Well, after I was away, and I started to watch the political spin, and I started to watch, and there is a fake news. Believe me, I know who they are, because they misconstrued our story, and they knew the truth as well, because they were one. And I'll tell you which one it was. It was CNN. They found the ambassador's diary 3 days after the attack. They knew exactly what happened, and then they knew from what was going on, and they were part of the cover-up. CBS was too, with Ben Rhodes and David Rhodes, the Rhodes brothers. I didn't really take much into account because I thought somebody eventually, within the time I was deployed, would come forward with the truth. And I just saw the story to continually be misconstrued and misrepresented, and basically lied. It was lied about. So as time went on, I've become more jaded. Am I the same fun-loving guy I was when I was deploying? No, I'm not. Am I a little bit angrier, a little bit more guarded? Yes, but not from deployments, not from war. It's from coming back here and seeing how history and political agendas, actually I should say how political agendas can affect how history is, and how American people don't know a lot what's going on there, and how that if a story is told enough times and it's a lie within the media or within administration, people will actually start to believe it. So I'm a little angrier now, but not from Benghazi. I love Benghazi. I enjoyed the deploying. I deployed for 10 years before that, and it was 4 years since where I've become more angry and jaded and pissed off at what politicians do, and what, especially the media. They're out of control completely.
Sorry to hear that.
It's what it is, bro.
So how was your what was the experience like in the Benghazi attack?
You just, after doing it for that long, and being on the job for that long, it just becomes a job. And that being said, you become robotic. You know how to handle things. You've trained for so long. You've deployed for so long. You're with guys that are the same caliber. All of us were older. All of us had a lot of experience, and that says a lot for having more street smarts than having book smarts. Street smarts get you by when stuff like that happens. So the attack was, I had fun. I was having a great time trying to fight and fighting back, and when that happens, especially that time in your career, you can actually enjoy the lights. I mean, it's incredible. There's nothing like combat. The lights, the sounds, the surprise explosions, and you see the bad side too. I saw friends die. I saw Sean die. I saw dead bodies. I helped carry dead bodies. Helped try to save bodies. Pieces, blood. You see all that. But after a while in your career, when that happens, you go into a robot mode. It will bother you later, but you know how to compartmentalize what the job is at that time, knowing that I'm not going to let this affect me now. I got to do what I got to do. Don't quit. But also knowing in the back of your head that down the road, like now, I may have a night where I just remember it and it really bothers me. I don't have bad dreams. I don't think there's such a thing as having bad dreams and post-traumatic stress. I have post-traumatic stress. I don't believe that. My dreams come when I'm awake. I'll just remember something. I'll go out. My daughter, she's 9. She'll see it too. She'll go, "Are you thinking something, Daddy?" And I'll just be out of it for a little bit. But as far as having dreams and night sweats and all that, no, I don't see. That's Hollywood. I do have pictures in my head, but it's when I'm awake, and that's what bothers me. But that night itself, I go back in a second, dude. It was great. I was with some of my best friends and some of the best warriors around. It was incredible.
You
Thank you, Dave.
I hope I didn't interfere.
No, you did great. Thank you, sir.
Great to meet you.
Yes, sir. Thank you again for your time.
So, did any of you made any regrets during the Benghazi attack?
That we didn't leave earlier. We all regretted that first 5 minutes when we wanted to go, and Bob told us to wait. And our team leader, he was not a help either. Our team leader told us to wait. All of us regret not just bucking orders then. We should have left then. And we all of us believe, and I even testified to this to Congress. I said if we would have left 5 minutes in, they would still be alive, and they being Ambassador Stevens, Sean Smith. And I do remember I had this Democratic. What are they called? He's one of their lawyers, an aide or something. I was sitting during a congressional hearing when I had a hearing there at the White House, and he goes, well, so you guys would have lost your lives. And that's the saying, that's the difference between White House and political aides and people that have no balls and people that actually do. And I said to him, yeah, but that's our job. We're supposed to get over there and help, not sit back and let somebody else do it for us. So, and we would have pulled their attention to us, which would have allowed the State Department to do their job, which is security and get the ambassador out. That's their main job. If we died, well, then we died. But that's what we signed up for, and that's what you do as a brotherhood. DC doesn't get that. That was my big case of where DC doesn't give two shits about people's lives. All they care about is their own life and their own political aspirations and agendas. And that really ticked me off. That was early on after I got back from Benghazi and had to testify. It bothered me a lot.
Do you know what are your? Do you think you can summarize what are your political views?
Well, yeah, I'll tell. I was never into politics. I cared less. Till Benghazi happened, I didn't care. I didn't care about anything. You don't go overseas and deploy because of politics. You go because of the buddy next to you. You don't do it for anything else. I mean, you love your country. Yes, I'm patriotic. I love America. I love the United States. I love my flag. But you deploy because you're with your buddies. You deploy because of the guy next to you. I got strongly, and not even strongly into politics where I want to run, but just strongly into condemning the hypocrisy. And you do. I see it more on the left than I do on the right. I do. It's just that. It's honest. I didn't get into it till after Benghazi when they started to attack me personally. When they start calling me a liar, and they call the team liars, and they say that the death of my friends was a conspiracy, or they say that the families of the Gold Star family members are lying when they were told by Hillary that it was due to a video at the ceremony, and then the Sat family called them liars. They were called the liars to the family. I'm sorry, guys. It's getting late. Then you kind of pull me in the fight. You don't call us liars after we gave what we did. And so, my political leanings. I have enemies on both sides. There are people that crapped on us on both sides of the fence. But I get more support from the conservative side it's also, as I look back on my military career and contracting with the government, I look more. You always have more support from the military from conservatives. You do. The military and law enforcement always get more support, and we did as well. But believe me, I've got enemies on both sides. But as far as political aspiration or anything for me, I'm too redneck to ever be in politics. I'll still speak my mind.
Yeah.
But that's the idea.
Do you know in what? So do you?
You're okay, Samuel. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Do you know in what areas did the Benghazi attack negatively impact your life?
In what areas?
Yeah.
Again, it's made me a little bit more angry of a person when I came back. Not because of Benghazi, because of the political agenda, especially the liberal political agenda. When I came back, and then firstly claiming the attack was due to a video, which was a lie, and then constantly saying that it didn't happen, or didn't happen the way we said it did. That's a slap in the face. So it's made me a little bit angry, a little bit less trusting to certain groups, and I don't like. I used to care less about DC. I hate DC now. I can't stand politicians in DC. They're all about themselves. There's a few that are out there that I could say maybe are not, but for the most part. And you know what's funny is, and I'll say most politicians that I've met, they're not smart people. I've met smarter people within the military by far, and we got these people running our country, and they're very narcissistic. And I say, if you can tell by my rant here, I've become a little more negative. But it's hard not to be more negative and less about certain political parties, and especially the liberals in this country. When they attacked you, what you did was give your life to save others. That's all I ever wanted to do. So, but I still try to make lemonade out of lemons, and I do so. And I still have a lot of support from the military. I love our country. I love special operations community, and still trying to make the best that I can out of the cards that have been dealt.
Do you know what myths that were perpetrated against the Benghazi event?
What moves?
What myths?
Oh, what myths?
Yeah.
The video? There's no video. The attack wasn't due to the video. There was no protest. There was no protest that caused the attack. The attack was a terrorist attack off the line. There are some myths out there that the ambassador was drugged through the streets and sodomized and his balls were cut off and all that. Granted, I inspected his body when it came back. I didn't see desecration. That being said, I didn't take his pants down either. They said that his balls were cut off, his genitalia were removed. But when I inspected his body when they brought it back to the airport before we left, I didn't see a desecration. So that is a myth to me from what I've seen. As far as just overall, with Obama saying the attack was a conspiracy, that's a bunch of crap. The attack happened. He let it go. He didn't do a dang thing about it, and they're going to continue. Some of the people on that side that failed to do anything are continuing to say that the attack wasn't what we said it was. That's how it is. But other than that, the lie about the video and the protest, that's the hugest. That's not a myth. That's just a complete lie. It was a terrorist attack by Al Qaeda and Ansar al-Sharia. Ansar al-Sharia.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any advice for young civilians to fight off against the false criticism and disapprovals towards veterans and law enforcement in today's climate?
You know what? When I tell people like going to law enforcement or military, you're gonna have this. If you do, don't worry about it. Do your job. You're with your buddy next year. You're there to help your buddy next year. That's what you're there for. Yes, you're there to protect the Constitution, to protect our independence. If you're in the military, to protect people on the streets, if you're a cop. But really, if you're looking for that recognition, you're in the wrong line of work. You do it for the person next to you. So just go out there, do your job. Make sure you and your buddies go home. And that's all you got to care about. And then don't worry about the politics of it. If you can make a difference down the line within your own department as you get up, then do it. See what the mistakes are made by your leaders. See when they're putting politics first over the people. Never put politics over patriots. Never. You see that a lot. If you're seeing that, well, then when you get in charge, make the change. And don't be afraid to speak out. And don't be afraid to be politically incorrect every once in a while. Don't be scared. And if you get reprimanded because you offended somebody, so what? If it needed to be said, then say it. And if you get fired for it, hey, we've got our security clearances suspended. We got fired. So be it. Just know that you're doing the right thing. Always do the right thing. I knew guys were going to take care of me. I don't know where the money was going to come from after, but I knew that I was doing the right thing, and I'm doing fine. I'm just fine.
So what could have been prevented at the Benghazi attack?
State Department guys, all their security had been asking for more security, more weapon systems, more people. From Patrick Kennedy and Charlene Lamb, who are the undersecretaries of Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton as well. The State Department would have been given, the security officers would have been given what they were asked, which was more weapons, more security, when they'd been asking for it for the year leading up. Actually, I even knew about 6 months leading up. It wouldn't happen. It was a weak spot. It was an easy target with a high-value person there. We would have done the same thing. High-value target, easy hit. Why not? It's 9/11. So that would have stopped the attack right there. Nothing we could have done as our end would have stopped it. The ambassador, we asked the ambassador to stay with us while he was there because we knew he was understaffed. He didn't have any security. He declined. And since we weren't State Department, there was really not a lot we could do as far as to make him stay with us because he could do whatever he wanted to. But if State Department would have got, their security would have got what they asked for, which was they asked for a 240 Bravo machine gun and more personnel, American personnel, to protect the ambassador, that wouldn't have happened, because he wouldn't have been an easy target, and they would have risked losing. They would have lost more lives. He had a special forces team actually protecting him in Tripoli. They pulled that special forces team out before he came to Benghazi. If that team had been there with him that night, they would have killed a few Ansar Shri, and they would have given up. He was an easy target, and that was State Department, and that was Hillary, that was Patrick Kennedy, that was Charlene Lamb. They failed their own people by not giving them adequate security.
What would be your message to Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama?
You both need to rot in a jail for what you did. Negligent homicide is what you guys both did. It's negligent homicide. Read the definitions. Manslaughter. That's what they did. And then they doubled down on it by calling us liars, or calling Benghazi a conspiracy. That's it. That's to Jeff Sessions too. Jeff, you need to do your job, man. And you don't need to reopen any investigation. It's enough out there. She's guilty. He's guilty. And until people in D.C. get a sack, get a set, and actually do the right thing, they're not going to have anything happen to them. But in my opinion, they both need to be in a jail for negligent homicide.
Yeah.
And violating national security.
Definitely.